All right, I'm going.
Hell no.
Yeah, let's go. United Front. So I hear RBG. Yeah. Let's go. I can't shake it loose. This the hate produced. I'm here to break the noose and fight the devil. Ain't no truce. Raise it another level. Shame the devil. Say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you. I can't shake it loose. This the hate produced. I'm here to break the noose and fight the devil. Ain't no truce. Raise it another level. Shame the devil. Say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you. You peak pale skin beast. I hate your red, white, and blue. And Ku Klux Klan sheets. I hate your president, your senate, and your campaign speech. I hate the British and the Romans and the goddamn Greeks. It's no peace, yeah. Moral persuasion doesn't work with Caucasians. You speak his language through violence with guns blazing. So what I'm saying, negotiating with Satan is to waste of time. You out your African mind. Gonna make these devils pay for every single crime ever committed. Cracker, you did it, now it's time to die. I sprayed a ratchet, I batted, no moving backwards. I'm sending bullets at crackers and all faggots. Forward is the motion. Killing devils on different levels, concocting potions to stop them from encroaching. On our way of life, I got a knife to slit his throat quick. Get my people hyped, cause what I write is always dopeness focus. I can't shake it loose, this the hate produced. I'm here to break the noose and fight the devil, ain't no truce. Raise it another level, shame the devil, say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you. I can't shake it loose, this the hate produced.
This the hate you
I'm
made.
here to break the noose and fight the devil, ain't no truce. Raise it another level, shame the devil, say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you.
Take a step in my lane. I'm projecting the pain. Visions and pictures in my veins of us tortured and slain. So many sons and daughters slaughtered, some known on the name. Bringing my eye to the situation is why I came. I shake every pet nation, go exterminate. Marcus Garvey move. Godly politic, run them all away. KPI type methodology, how the gods slay. Try life and I don't play. Kill these crackers in broad day. Enter the scene, got them clean and watch me swerve out it. Big juju in my pocket, I ain't worried about it. That go for grown-ups to babies. Salute my Baba Khalid Muhammad. We solid, I call for balance, is very valid. Yeah, murder these devils, it's divine order. We opposites, I reject them mixing like oil and water. Africa for Africans, representing them words strong. I say shut them borders down and let us get a purge on.
I can't shake it loose, this the hate produced. I'm here to break the noose and fight the devil, ain't no truce. Raise it another level, shame the devil, say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you. I can't shake it loose, this the hate produced. I'm here to break the noose and fight the devil, ain't no truce. Raise it another level, shame the devil, say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you.
This ain't no kumbaya vibe, my yasa is a war shop. That's my war cry, double H famine, it's wartime. Devils want it all, was peaceful coexistence. Anti-separation, he's violently resistant. Coupe tech, bullet high, hit the deck when bullets fly. The devil won't change and needs to be euthanized. The stupidness, foolish minds, you will get used your blind. Suicide, trusting this cracker is suicide. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, you know the play. That peace talk is juvenile, it really don't hold no weight. Fighting hate with love sounds great in theory, but never ever work in history. Name one place that this cracker went. Name one place that this cracker left alone. I bet that they was war prone. Keep a piece in your wardrobe and know the world's a war zone.
I can't shake it loose, this the hate produced. I'm here to break the noose and fight the devil, ain't no truce. Raise it another level, shame the devil, say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you. I can't shake it loose, this the hate produced. I'm here to break the noose and fight the devil, ain't no truce. Raise it another level, shame the devil, say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you.
Fire.
As we start each and every show, Abibifahoodie, Abibitumi, Hotep, Alafia, Shalom, Assalamu Alaikum, and all Black laws for all Black people. Good morning, brothers and sisters, and first-time listeners, as well as first-time viewers. Welcome to another edition of the Sonic Ngoma on Do the Knowledge Radio. We are happy and blessed to be with you once again. I am Oba Oláyínká with my co-host, Khamuo Heru and Brother Farugh Maat. We are a unified body of concerned activists, visual artists, musicians, business owners, researchers, truth seekers, teachers, and healers. Our goal is to create dialogue surrounding people, music, culture, politics, as it relates to African people's sovereignty, autonomy, and economic empowerment. Here represented as the Urban Shamans Productions, African Independence Day Organizing Committee, and Be Maya Incorporated. Before we jump into today's topic, we want to let you know that part of the Sonic Ngoma radio broadcast is brought to you by the Urban Shamans Productions, African Independence Day Organizing Committee, Be Maya Incorporated, Peru Custodial Maintenance, and Home Renewal Services, and of course, the Temple of Black Messiah, and of course, Do the Knowledge Radio. So with that, we are going to get into our topic this morning with our guest, the Vanguard, the one, the only, United Front African Insurrection Music. I want to say good morning first to my host, brothers Khamuo Heru and Brother Farugh Maat. Peace, my brothers. Black Power, Grand Risings. I know you and I, Brother Khamuo, celebrated our born days yesterday. So I just want to say to you this morning, man, happy belated, man. Wolfie, you enjoyed yourself yesterday, man. You turned the golden age of
43.
Oh, exactly. And I turned 49 yesterday, but we're not getting older, we're just getting better. So that's right. You know, it's a beautiful thing.
Happy born day to both y'all brothers, man. Happy born day.
Thank you,
brothers. Thank you, brothers. Thank you.
We're happy born day.
Thank you.
Give thanks.
Yes, give thanks.
Happy belated born day,
very, very special show.
Don't forget about your food and
for
be
us.
Careful when you yell.
I couldn't sleep last night. Knowing that I was going to have y'all on, man. You know, y'all know how much I love y'all brothers. Y'all brothers are really my favorite hip hop group in the game right now. There's a lot of good ones. There are very few great ones, but y'all are elite in what y'all do. And we just want to give y'all this platform here on Sonic Ngoma to talk about the history of the group, some of your new projects, and to get people familiar with your music and those who do not know you, because I think they're missing out on probably one of the premier and preeminent groups as far as this African cultural, political, social movement is concerned. You all came up with your own brand of music, which we know as African insurrection music. So we're definitely going to get started with introducing the members of the group and a little bit of the history and background of United Front and the history behind African insurrection music, the Asafo Gang.
Peace. First,
so
give
thanks. You want to lead off? The general himself?
Peace, everybody, man. I once again give thanks for allowing us to be on your platform and for your continuous support, brother, man. Like seriously, like you've been a supporter, like you crew, this home team, man. So it feels like family, man. We all family here, man. So give thanks, man. But okay, the history of United Front. Well, it started out originally. I started United Front in, I believe, the year about 2002, 2003. Originally, when I came up with the idea and concept, I came up with the idea. I got the name from a Dr. Khaled's speech. And what really inspired me was the part of the speech when he said, you know, if you're going to be a revolutionary rapper, no, if you're going to be a rapper, be a revolutionary rapper. And, you know, that combined with hearing Dead Prez, Let's Get Free, kind of really set me on a path to where we are now. But originally, United Front was myself and a producer named ZQ. We had actually originally it was called the United Front Project. It was an EP that him and I had did, and to be honest with you, it's a classic that has become lost out there in cyberspace somewhere because his hard drive crashed and only a few people actually got to hear it. So you know, him and I kind of, I didn't say we had a falling out, but we had a disagreement in on principle things. So I went on to do my own thing. So at the time, I was a lot more politically active. I was in certain organizations that I'm not going to speak about, but I was a lot more politically active. And from the time, you know, I can remember, I've always been a person that's been able to unite people and bring them together. And you know, my circle of friends pretty much is a collection of people that I've met throughout my life that now we've all become friends. And I've been able to do that in my political life as well when I was politically active, where I was able to kind of unify different organizations in New York and get them to work together. And I decided to use my music as a vessel for that, to directly speak to the consciousness and to the mentality of those who were already doing the work, right? It wasn't really an idea. It wasn't really a thing where I was trying to necessarily enlighten all Black people, but I knew people on the front lines needed motivation. And that was my motivation, to try to give something for the brothers and sisters who was out there really doing the do. So I went, I think it might have been late 2002, 2003. I don't even know how Deedle, like, where I got the idea to go approach him to do the project with me. But I spent a lot of time in Harlem with the organization that I was working with, so I knew he was nearby. So I just went over there one day, and you know, we had a nice conversation. He likes to describe it as sometimes in April, because it was in April, I believe, where we had a nice conversation where I just pretty much broke it down to him where I was at mentally and spiritually at that point in my life, and where I was trying to go creatively as an MC and as a musician. So he was somebody that I always respected as an artist. So it really just took one conversation, and then next thing I know, United We Stand Volume 1 came to be. I don't know if Deedle or anybody else want to speak a little bit more on the history of how they got involved.
Well, let me say this while y'all when y'all figuring it out. I could tell you starstruck, Oba. So normally you do your reading, and you clear right through. Anybody who like views the show know Oba is like boom, 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 boom. But when I heard you skip up, and I was my man, starstruck, man. So it's all right. It's all right.
It's funny. We'll talk about that after the show.
But pretty much, you know, United Front started out, you know, like I said, started with myself and the producer. Then it got to become me and Green, where we created United We Stand Volume 1. And we started out pretty much just traveling the circuit of the lecture circuit. Wherever there was a speaker or a lecturer or somebody we respected that was doing anything, we would go there and we would perform and, you know, do our thing. So that's kind of how we got known in the conscious community. And at the time, it was only one other group out there that I heard of, and that was Precise Science at the time. But this is like 2003, 2004. And then in around 2006, the end of 2006, when Sean Bell was murdered by the police, you know, I was involved a lot more politically. I helped organize some things that was happening in New York, and at the same time, we decided to come out with 50 Shots Back as a response to the police terrorism that was happening in New York City. And we had a lot of support behind that. We had Councilman Charles Barron. Like we had a lot of people on the project that was prominent at the time, and you know, we kind of just went from there, man. It was all about just giving back to the people that was already doing the work, man. We just wanted to inspire people like you brothers to keep doing what you're doing. Create a soundtrack.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, you all came up, with the whole concept of African insurrection music, which you just talked about a little bit earlier. But the whole idea behind African insurrection music, a lot of people would say back in 2000, when Dead Press came out with "Let's Get Free," was one of the things that was the genesis or the rebirth of African conscious music, being that we had X Clan, we had KRS-One, we've had Public Enemy, Brand Nubian, so forth down the line in the late 80s and early 90s. But the resurgence of it came back in 2000 with Dead Prez. But you all took it to another level and coined African insurrection music. And I came up with a little bit of a list last night of certain artists that maybe go under the genre of African insurrection music. And, you all can correct me if you want, but I came up with a list of artists, brothers like Tahir RBG, Kazi Gang, Brother Rock and Musa, Zaid Malik, Kofi G, Amani P, the group Lone Star, Brick the Foundation, of course, our brother, Garvey City's own Richard Raw, brother out in Oakland, California by the name of Wolfhawk, Jaguar, Brothers Keeper, Precise Science, Sister Narubi Salah, Sister Akua Naru, and of course, Sister Sa-Rock. Those are some of the artists that I came up with as a list of who would go under or who would qualify for. As well as Brother Wise Intelligent. I can't forget the God, Trenton's own God, Wise Intelligent, Poor Righteous Teachers. But speak to that a little bit of those artists that kind of like fit that mode of in that particular genre. That we came up with, corporate industry didn't come up with the genre of African insurrection music. That was something that you all coined, put out. So speak to that and speak to the whole idea of a Safo, because I don't think what a lot of people understand what an Asafo is. We know, but I want y'all to put that out as well.
Well, as far as African insurrection music, much respect to all those artists you name, man. Like those artists are dope. You know what I'm saying? I listened to some of those brothers and sisters. What I will say, in a pretty much in a nutshell, pause. What African insurrection music artist identifies who our enemies are with no mystery behind it. Like we don't say words like the system, the man. No, we identify our enemies exactly as who they are: crackers, whites, Europeans. Arabs, Jews, we speak real and it's raw. I think what the best way I think to describe African insurrection music is if Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, peace be upon him, if he was a rapper. Like that's what we try to embody, the spirit, the uncompromising spirit of ancestors who spoke direct, did not sugarcoat, and didn't have any level of compassion for our enemies. Period. But as far as the Safo and the Safo gang, well, a Safo we know is a term, I believe is and a Khan term, if I'm not mistaken, that means warrior. And I learned the term from Baba Baruti. Much respect to Baba Baruti, and Mama Ya, Akabin House. So the idea of a Safo and being a warrior is not a one for one. I learned that it's not gender specific, but it is something that is culturally intertwined into who we are as Black people. We are warriors for the simple fact that we survive everything that we have survived. So my Asafo gang, which is myself, well, United Front, which is also my brother Seguayo, also known as Hakun, also my brother Knowledge Bone. He's a Safo gang.
That's right.
Baba Oba, whether you know it or not, you a Safo gang. like we we are a collection of brothers who, again, who we know who our enemies are. We live our lives in a way where daily we're moving in direction towards liberation, towards freedom. We understand what our responsibilities are totally and completely, and we accept it, and we go about our duties honorably as disciples and as warriors to uphold the legacy of our ancestors. But I'll let somebody else talk. Like, let me get my brothers on here. Let me see what they.
Oh, I can tune that.
Yo, Abibifahoodie, what's good, family?
Abibifahoodie, Ken Fo, what's going on with y'all?
So, can y'all speak to that? You know, the whole concept of Asafo. You know, because I know completely that Asafo represents an African warrior scholar. Everybody that's on this broadcast, including Knowledge Born, who's engineering, would qualify as being an African warrior scholar. Three things: an African first, a warrior second, and a scholar third. We all are embodiments of that. So, you know, if I want to speak to that, or we can, you know, continue on with talking about some of this new material I got coming out.
Yeah, can y'all hear me clearly?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So, you know, coming and speaking from, you know, Jacob Carruthers, Asa Hilliard, I definitely agree with the African warrior scholar part in using it and having it as a part of the expression of African insurrection music. So, you know, taking the things I'm learning while I'm studying, taking the things I'm learning while I'm growing and developing, and putting it into the music in a way in which it can relate to people, in a way in which we can use it. So I definitely agree that, you know, African warrior scholarism is a part of Asafo music. It's a part of African insurrection music. It is.
Where's Green at?
And I
But just to
second
give
that.
y'all some of, but just to give y'all some of the history though, let me just give you the actual history of how we actually came up with the term. African insurrection music originally wasn't called African insurrection music. It was called insurrection African music originally. We got the idea because the irritated genius Southeast at the time, he really felt that our music was something different. So he was like, you guys could come up with a different term for what you do, because this is not hip hop. Like, this is something completely different. Like what you guys, it embodies a completely different spirit. So Diddle, which I wish he was on here, but Diddle actually coined the phrase insurrection African music. It was originally I am, right? But Genie being Genie, who always twists up phrases and sayings and never could really say anything correctly, right? We was at a PKV lecture and he was like, these brothers came up with a new term for their music, and it's called African insurrection music, AIM. And we was like, me and Green were just kind of like, yeah, we actually like that better. So we stuck with it, and we kept it with AIM, African insurrection music, and that's how we came up with that. That's the history of that. So props to Genie, because he actually sparked the idea and the thought. To give with all transparency, we can't take all the credit.
Farugh, brother Khamuo, y'all got any questions for I guess?
Yes. Black Power family.
Black power.
My question to you, like I was explaining earlier, that's my favorite shot right there, y'all. I played earlier. We came into. My question is, what is the creative process behind coming up with the content for your music? Because, like you said, to put history over tracks the way you do, in a profound way you do it, have it relate to people in a way to where, like I was telling a brother, like if I'm set to do 20, and my max is usually 20 pull-ups, when I listen to that song, I find like a way to get out an extra 2 or 3. That's some real heavy mystical magic that y'all laying out there. So what is the creative process behind that?
Peace. For myself, the process is Oh damn. Oh, y'all can hear me?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can.
I mean, the process is, the thing is, we name our music African insurrection music. Like that's just not like a cool phrase. It's actually a focal point.
Mm-hmm.
So at any time you get distracted or whatever, boom, what am I doing? African insurrection music. You know what I mean? And that's it. So we just deal with the different layers and aspects of what we need as Africans to claim our sovereignty. You know what I mean? And besides that, we dope as hell, man. So you know what I mean? We just make it fire. That's it. That's all I could tell you. You know what I mean? We focus on you know Baba Neely Fuller and Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, peace be upon her.
Mm-hmm.
They gave us 9 areas of people activity, to concentrate on, and we have, and we know what our genre is, so we just stay within our envelope, in that respect, and then besides that, we a collective of dope MCs that's just gonna always make it fire. When I write it, and when I spit it back to myself, if it don't taste like good food, I can't let nobody hear it.
Right.
That's just how I rock, personally.
Let me add in there too that I'm gonna give a shout out to Rough Mike. When you said precise science, that kind of hit me there because
I'll say.
Rest in power. Rest in power.
he was very instrumental in our music and the things that we do. So I want to give a shout out to Rough Mike.
That's the beautiful thing about this this platform. With doing the Sonic Ngoma right here on Do the Knowledge Radio. The beautiful thing is that we bring artists together. You know what I mean? Brother Khamuo and Brother Farugh, with the group, the Urban Shaman, you know what I mean? You all, you 4 brothers with United Front. It's good to have artists collaborate. So we got all different types of individuals on this show. And so you never know who's going to be the next guest. So that's beautiful. I love to see creative minds coming together at work. And that's a beautiful thing. Speak to the new projects that's coming out. I know y'all just released George and Ahmad, starring the one and only, my brother, Dito Green. What's up, Green? In the house.
Peace, brothers. Peace, brothers.
Speak to that.
Church in the Field. Church in the Field.
Yeah, Church in the Field, which is out right now. Speak to the fact that you all have Buckshots and Slugs, the series that you are doing on Fridays on IG. With starring, of course, my brother Ambassador O, and of course my brother Akintunde, aka University Ave, and talk about the 2 EPs that are coming out. One this month on June 19th, one next month, and all leading up to the release of Hand Shotgun on August the 19th. So talk about some of the projects that you all got going on.
All right, I guess so. Doc, you got this one, Doc. Come on, CEO.
Yeah. I
was going to say, hey, Ambassador O.
Yeah, I thought Green having some. I thought you was directing that to Green, but
Let's do it.
So basically, we just got we just got a gang of material. Like the brothers been working, we've been keeping it real quiet, just staying low and working, and you know how it is, man. I think a lot of people, it's like, yo, 2020 is gonna be the year, and we know what's going on out here, but like, this is it, you know what I mean? Like, this is a time that we've, I think that we're in a time where we always knew that time was coming, and it's here, and there's no better soundtrack to what's going on to answer what's going on out here than African insurrection music. you know, a lot of artists in the mainstream, a lot of folks that we don't hear from that, you know, when things happen, all of a sudden have jumped on the bandwagon of somehow now having political views and being pro-black and all this. But you know, we've been at this for a while, over a decade, over 15 years, you know what I mean? And I think that we are the most, not just United Front, but artists of our caliber that have been doing it for a while are the most qualified to speak on what's going on and to give real solutions, not just begging crackers and our enemies to be our friends. You know what I mean? We not part of that shit show. That's why we not really saying much right now, because we see this for what it is. You know what I mean? So what we about to do is just provide the family with just a major offering of a lot of music, just to keep them focused. So we're gonna start that with the BOS Volume 1. Help me out with the name. It's the Cipher in the Field for Manhood Papers.
It is.
Part of me. You know what I mean?
Cipher
Yeah.
in the Field for Manhood Papers.
Cipher in the Field for Manhood Papers. So those people that have been rocking with us for a while, you might think it's like a greatest.
You got it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? They might think it's like a greatest hits. Nah, this is fire music that we just been holding on to, that either didn't fit into albums that we already dropped, or just, you know, music that just, you know, just like loose singles that we kind of like been sharing with y'all on SoundCloud, you know what I mean? So we're about to drop 2 volumes of that, leading up to Harriet Shotgun Volume 1. That's a collaborative effort between myself and the brother University Ave. I'm telling y'all right now, it's fire. It's a classic. And all of these offerings will be exclusively available on our website, www.ufasafo.com. Now, the reason for this is that you know, we are a grassroots collective of artists. You know, we create these projects out of our own pockets. You know what I mean? So the funds that we accumulate from our support base goes right back into the music. So we don't really offer them on streaming platforms and things of that nature. You know, we are like super independent. So exclusively on www.ufasafo.com. We got some merch coming soon, and we got more music. We gonna hit y'all all year, but you know, that's the first 3. That's the first 3 piece right there. We're gonna hit you with the BOS Volume 1, Cipher in the Field for Manhood Papers, and then there's gonna be Volume 2. BOS Volume 2. BOS meaning Buckshots or Slugs. Besides that, you can check us out every Friday at the Vanguard UF on Instagram. We have a weekly series called Buckshots or Slugs, freestyle duel. It's not a battle, you know what I mean? Me and my brother just get on the same tracks or do the same concepts, and you get to choose or vote on which one you like better, or you know, your likes tells us that. So, you know, check that out. You know, every Friday at 12 p.m. we drop it. So, you know, that's what it is. Church in the Field out right now. Get that too. www.ufasafo.com.
This is a good segue, because one of the things that you and I and Bomani talked about before the show is what is taking place and what has transpired in day 12 of these riots. And I don't even like calling them riots, but these outbreaks that are taking place all across the country, well over 40 cities in this country due to the murder, the cold-blooded murder of our brother Gregory Floyd. And this week, you all released a new single. For those of you all who have not heard it, it's fire. called, it's entitled George and Ahmad. You know, I'm talking about, you know, both the murder, well, actually, an ode to both George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery, who lost their lives recently. Of course, Floyd being killed by the pigs in Minneapolis, and Ahmaud Arbery, while jogging, was killed in Georgia by, you know, a few, you know, white supremacist pigs. You know, starring my brother Dito Green. And I actually, you know, wanted to start talking about what is going on, because we can't act like this is not going on, the elephant in the room, and we not address it. We got to address this situation. We strive to address a lot of the current issues that are going on, of course, with this COVID-19 plandemic, not pandemic, but plandemic, and you know, this situation currently. So if we could talk about some of those things and maybe, you know, come up with, you know, some solutions to what is going on, because we strive to be a solution-oriented show. I like to definitely speak to that. And actually ask Dito first, you know, what was his thought process in going into the studio and banging out this joint, George and Ahmad.
Man, did we lose Green? Yeah, I think yeah, Green was saying that he had trouble with his was having trouble with his Wi-Fi, so he probably, I don't know if he got cut off.
All right. Well, okay. Well, speak to Akintunde, speak to, you know, y'all thoughts, y'all feelings about the past 12 days. And where do we go from here? Oh, there goes Bo right there.
Yo, well, to be honest, kind of like O was alluding to earlier, you know, these incidents are not isolated, and they happen so often that we get emotionally kind of controlled and pushed in all these different areas. And there's no real response to the actual root of the problem. We got to address the root of the issues, and it's a little bit difficult to do, but you know, just by organizing our own families and the people who we care about in our own cities, to be able to defend ourselves and respond to the different tactics that we do know of, and also be proactive in understanding that these type of incidents are going to happen. But doing the same things that we've been doing, like, don't get me wrong, I understand the rioting. You know, I've done it before. I've been a part of protest and got it in, and all of the different things with Dontre Hamilton and Derek Williams in Milwaukee when they were killed by officers. I was out there every Sunday for 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Ferguson happened. We went down to Ferguson. We got it in. We was out there wilding. You understand me? Nothing came of that. We dealing with the same issues, and you know, we really put a lot of highlight, you know, on the issues, but we're not really addressing the root of the problem. We can't continue, you know what I'm saying, to play defense in the manner in which we are. It's not necessarily intelligent to put out a strategy on this platform or anything, but know that a strategy has to be made amongst those who understand, and implement it amongst those who understand. It really shouldn't even take a lot of agreement now, because a lot of times we let the disagreement, what we don't agree on, keep us from uniting. You know, what people seeing right now, people should use all this emotional energy to try to understand and come together and be able to organize around a local, you know what I'm saying, principalities. You know, your family, the group of people who you rock with outside of your direct relatives and blood. You know, y'all should have a plan on how y'all gonna handle this and that. But when it comes to police brutality, come on, man. The original police, the original badge, it was a slave catching badge. We already know that. There's such thing as police brutality. This is what they've always done. You know, and I'm not saying there's no such thing like it doesn't happen. I'm saying it's just like it's a part of their job description. It's what they do. You know what I'm saying? So it's nothing new. Cameras, there's a lot of cameras out right now, and people, videotaping. Listen, if y'all see me getting killed on camera, y'all gonna see me getting killed on camera. And if y'all sitting up there videotaping me getting killed on camera instead of helping, you know what I'm saying? It's definitely an issue. But it's a lot of cowards and suckers out here. So we talk about Asafo. Asafo got to come together and put a plan out here. Y'all know what the Mau Mau was. Y'all know what it is.
Straight.
I think this problem it's a multi-layered problem with multi-layered solutions, man. It's so much to do, and it's not really like one thing we can really zero in on and say this is the problem and this is the solution to how we do whatever. But at the end of the day, I do feel like in these days and times what needs to happen is, one, we need to understand that we're dealing with people that have absolutely no morality. So protesting and things of that nature is not going to work. They don't have any compassion for you. So the sign that you hold up, anything you do for symbolism, all of the little, reenactments of the brother George Floyd, what I mean, with somebody putting their neck, they knee on their neck, like all of that stuff is pointless. What we need to understand is that we are at war. We've been at war for the past 400 some years now with the same group of people. And another thing is that in these days and times we need to close the ranks. Nobody that don't look like us, that don't come from us, should be involved in what we're trying to do and accomplish. And then the third thing I will say is, like, what's the goal and objective here? Like, what is it that we're trying to do? And that's the importance of organization. When you organize with a goal and a purpose, which is, as Pan-Africanists, we understand that we're trying to take it back home to Africa, not just physically, but mentally, spiritually, culturally. We're trying to go back home and organize our people under that one banner of that red, black, and that green. So again, I don't really know what the answer is, but one thing I do know is that until we understand this white man is the devil, we ain't never gonna get past that. We want to just try to wish the idea of good white people into existence, and it's not gonna happen.
Green, you want to speak, brother? Because I was trying to get you on earlier to talk about your mindset when you went in the booth and you released that fire, that George and Ahmad that just came out this week. So you want to speak to that?
Yeah, can y'all hear me clearly?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'm gonna ignore this delay I'm having here because so well, as I'm sure the brother spoke to earlier, excuse me if I rehash some things that were already said. I did catch O speaking on it a little bit. United Front has consistently been doing this from the beginning. So it's always interesting when these things happen and the music, you get asked a question about being a response to what's going on. And it's like, yeah, it is a direct response to George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery situations, but it's basically more of the same. It's the same thing that got us doing this from the beginning. And but it's like anything else. When you dedicate your life to these things and you're already good at what you do, and I really say that humbly, it's easy to get in that mode and say, yeah, you know what, this is what you dedicate your superpowers to. This is what you dedicate one of your most premium skills to. You want to let people know that we not feeling this. You want to let them know in a way that's like, yo, this is as dope as anything you've heard in hip hop. And it's on me to do that. You know what I'm saying? And the Vanguard has kind of set a tone. Is like, it's kind of expected. It's like, yo, if they put it out, it's gonna be dope. So yeah, when I heard that banger, when I heard that beat, even how it started, I was like, yeah, Green, you gotta hit everybody with this, and I'll give you an interesting tidbit, since this is all family here, even though everyone's listening. Half of those rhymes existed from a few years ago that I never used on anything. I just updated them a little bit to make it more current. So that just goes further to show you that we're speaking to these things. And sometimes you just got to change the name from Bush to Trump. Sometimes you just got to update the line and the flow and make it a little more current. and that just speaks to the MC level you deal with when you deal with United Front. But there's parts of those verses that have existed for years. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like you going into an arsenal and saying, we gonna need this, we gonna need the big gun for this one here. You understand? You going into something and you make sure you clean it up and you make sure it's gonna fire right so that it makes some real noise when it hit its target.
Oh, you want to speak to what's going on, my brother? I know we were talking earlier. You said save some of that fire for the show. When you talking backstage.
I'm gonna say this. I've been seeing a lot of people posting about where's this person, where's that person. You know, all of a sudden everybody is super revolutionary and everybody is super conscious, and they asking where's this person, that person that been putting in the groundwork every day. And to that energy, I want to say that we're not reactionary people. When my brother does a song called George and Ahmad, like he said, most of those lyrics he's had for a minute. We're not reactionary. The only reason why there's a Mike Brown, the only reason why there's a 50 Shots Back, those are joints that we do to speak to the reactionary energy at that time. But the majority of our music, like, it wasn't a specific incident that created the hate that hate produced and songs like that. You know what I mean? Like these are focused offerings to keep those who are focused. The current event joints are done to grab the attention of people who want to do something real. Like right now, just yesterday, something came to my attention where the mayor of Washington D.C. put Black Lives Matter on the ground in yellow, leading up to the White House. And people are so pacified by this. You know what I mean? The pigs got arrested, and I'm gonna tell y'all, like, I heard the press conference with the lawyer. The lawyer don't sound too confident. I mean, this dude is dancing like, yeah, you know, it's kind of hard to get convictions, but we gonna try our best. I swear, that's how the. So I'm like, yo, they're gonna calm down that fire, and they either gonna get them cops some bullshit charges, or they just gonna be them charges gonna get dismissed. So I'm saying to everybody out there, like, stay focused on the fact that this cracker will never give you your freedom, your sovereignty. That's something you got to take for yourself. Like, one thing I will say about right now is that I'm kind of glad things are happening the way they are, only in the sense that it's drawing a line in the sand, because there's a lot of confusion in this Pan-Africanist community where Oba was saying it earlier, like there's a lot of people that just want reform. They just want the cracker to treat them a little better. Like, yo, don't put your knee on my neck. Don't put your knee on my neck. Put your knee on my back.
Teach.
Don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, don't put your knee on my neck for 8 minutes. Put your knee on my back and crush my spine in 10.
Teach.
You feel what I'm saying? That's what a lot of cats that's flying this banner is doing right now. They just want to be treated better by this cracker. You know what I'm saying? And that's not what we about. So there's a line being drawn in the sand. You know what I'm saying? There's people that's using terms like equality, all white people ain't bad.
Teach.
We're humans. We're a human race and all that shit, man. Like, that's not pardon me, man. This is a passionate subject. You know what I mean? So what I will say is that we not for that. We are not for that. My race first people, my African sovereignty people, we are different.
Teach.
And in every there's a lot of pro-black organizations out here, different spiritual systems. And I will say this, like, I might be veering off of what's going on, but this has to do with what's going on. Like, we have to remain focused on the objective. And I think the biggest part we got to focus on is that there's a lot of infighting, a lot of division that doesn't need to be there. Yo, we all got a clean house. Like I don't want to hear no RBG dudes talking about rosters and
that's right.
And the comedic dudes when you got, you know what I mean, and 5% is when you got dudes that's, you know what I'm saying, that's violating they women, they children, and just doing a lot of foul shit in their organization. I don't want to hear that.
Teach.
We all got a clean house where we at, and then deal with each other on the levels of this is what we agree on, and let's get this popping. Like that's it. That's how you organize. I don't want to hear no criticism no more. I ain't gonna say no names, but y'all already know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Like dead that shit, man. Like yo, if you not doing the right thing in your organization, I don't want to hear what you got to say. I don't want to hear what you got to say about the Israelites. You know what? When I go into them little areas where they at, them cats is organized. They standing on four corners and they holding it down. They women ain't gotta worry. So I'm saying that to everybody. Like let's stay focused, and if we really about what we say we about, we got to start by cleaning house. Straight up. That's what I'm gonna say about that. Like I said, it might seem a little off topic, but just hear what I'm saying. Just stay focused on the objective, because this is not, you know what I'm saying, this is not a sprint. Like this is a marathon for real. And we gotta be focused, man. Like now cats is gonna be stepping on your yellow ass cowardly Black Lives Matter bullshit. Like, oh, you don't know, like, who the fuck don't know Black Lives Matter? Like seriously, man. Like, like I said, part, I usually don't be this fiery, man, but it's, you know what I mean, it's some bullshit. Like, people really eating that up, taking these little bullshit concessions, man. That shit pisses me off, man. Like, this is how you pacify people. When has a revolution ever been pop culture? You know what I'm saying? When? We're always hated, as you know what I mean. I don't know where the quote comes from, but as like it said on Public Enemy, takes a nation of millions to hold us back. Freedom is a road seldom traveled by the multitude.
That's right.
That's it. Like, so, you know what I mean? So all of this, like, yo, people like, yo, it's different. It's different now because, everybody's home and under quarantine. So, now they could really see what goes on in the world. What? Yo, y'all buying that? Like, y'all really eating that up?
Come on.
Like, come on, fam. I'm gonna chill out for a minute. Let my brothers talk, man. But yeah, you know what I mean? Some bullshit.
I think part of it too, man. Like, we gotta stop waiting. Like brothers like ourselves and sisters, like those who really know what time it is. I think a lot of times we too busy waiting for 100% participation from everybody, and revolutions don't start like that.
Teach.
Those who know what's up, like we gotta be really, especially now, we gotta be closing the ranks and really, really getting the game plan together for one, because not just how we going, win this war, but how we even going to survive this next phase of it. Because, like spoke to, it's obvious they either going to let these cops walk or they going to give them some little slap on the wrist with some bullshit, right? So what's going to happen then? In reactionary response, our people are going to uprise and burn shit down. We understand that it's the honkies out there right now that's doing all the rioting and the burning shit down. So what's going to happen? We're going to get caught in the crossfire between two crackers. We understand.
And the looting too. Right. And the looting too. They try to blame that shit on us. They going in stores and getting their shit too. They getting their bag too. That's bullshit.
But we also know that the only reason why the majority of these everyday crackers that's out there protesting is because they have an agenda against Trump. So this is really an argument. They out there because it's really an argument between two crackers. They got nothing to do with George Floyd. They're using this. And this is the same
it was one joint. I don't mean to cut you off, bro. But some sister was seeing this white guy all black spray painting on the building. And she's like, who are you? Like, what organization you with? Because I know you ain't with us. Like, he said, I ain't here for no George Floyd. He said, fuck y'all, and ran off and everything like that. It's a whole lot of them that's out there doing that shit. You know what I mean? In the so-called the name of George Floyd. These motherfuckers, man, they on some shit. You know what I'm saying? And, we know that they try to co-opt shit, We know that they try to not only co-opt shit, but we also know that they also are trying to, march with us, because, you know, they feel some type of guilt about having been born in white privilege and this, that, and the third, man. I mean, I don't really got too much more to say on it, but Brother Farugh, I mean, I know last week you spoke passionately on it. Look, as a host of this show, man, I like you to, you know, address, you know, some of the things that you've been dealing with, you know, since last week.
I mean, y'all all said it. We know what we're dealing with. Are we surprised what they doing, the tactics? This is shit they've been doing since the beginning in time with them. 5,000 years ago, they've been doing the same shit, divide and conquer, the co-op. They've been doing these things forever, so we shouldn't be surprised. And I appreciate your passion, Brother O, because this is what this platform is designed for. Unedited, unapologetically Pan-Africanism from the gate. So speak your heart song, because this is what this platform was designed for. The only solution I see is a commitment to Pan-Africanism. That's it. I mean, once we have a commitment to the philosophy and the principles of Pan-African nationalism, it's a wrap, because everything that we do, if we stop spending our money outside of ourselves, we're doing the stuff that we're doing with 10% of our income. All right, they're able to do the things they're able to do because they got 100% of their income and 90% of ours. Right. So if we just take that one step and take our money, spend all our money with your website, buying your music, what can y'all do with that money? You know what I mean? Like, it's like we just take that Pan-African mindset, take our money and spend it with us only, create our own industries, produce our own stuff, take ownership. We just have to take ownership and stop waiting for the cracker to do everything for us. And that's why I say this system has created a mental illness in our African brothers and sisters of dependency. And we are dependent on them for everything. And we got to take that ownership back. Once we take that ownership back, they can't survive. Their shit will crumble. So that's the thing that I'm going to be preaching from this point forward, that take ownership of our spiritual, our education, our food production, our clothes production, every industry that we need to take ownership of.
I also say this too. I'm with you, O. We got to stop all this set tripping shit, man. Cats got to stop the set tripping shit. This is not the time for that. You know what I mean? You got to stop it. And we got to get our people on code, man. They got to be on this, you know what I mean? They speak of the G code. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna call it the A code. We got to get our people on code, man. You know what I'm saying? It's real. And as I talk to, you know, many brothers, but, you know, in particularly this week, I talked to my brother, Baba Sekou, a lot this week. And like he said, man, the only answer, and it always has been the answer, is complete separation from this fucking cracker. That's the only answer, okay? And I know well over 90% of our people aren't ready to do that. And that's fine. You can stay on the plantation, but you got brothers and sisters that are ready to leave this motherfucker and say, hey, we got to set up something of our own. Now, he may not leave us alone because, see, it's in their nature to dominate everything and everyone. You know what I mean? But that means that you got to fucking fight. You know what I'm saying? To protect and maintain what is yours. But as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, as the Right Excellent Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey taught us as a member of the UNIA, complete fucking separation from this fucking cracker is the only answer to the problems of African people here and around the world. Let them have their shit and we have ours. Either he separates from us or we separate from him. I'm going to call it the way that it is, because this is the platform that we've created to speak truth to power. Let's stop all this set tripping shit. Let's get our people on code who want to be on code. If they don't want to be on code, fuck them. And that complete separation is the only answer for the liberation, the salvation of what our Honorable Baba Khalid Muhammad called it the Black Nation. Complete separation is the only answer.
I'll take it a step further though. I'll add what Baba Kamal Cambone said was the ultimate solution. It was pretty much the extermination. But that's another conversation.
Yeah, yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah.
That's fact.
Nah,
Go ahead.
but listen. What I'm gonna say is that, like, yeah, there is no other way. Complete. I'm glad you said that, because sometimes we get caught up in the wordplay, because like you said, we're warrior scholars, we're well-read brothers, we're articulate brothers, and sometimes we use words like sovereignty and independence and things of that nature. But yeah, let's keep it plain. Complete, utter separation for for the layman. Let's be very clear about that. And then not just to be separate, but also to be in a position to defend what we own, because that's the only thing missing from the equation a lot of times. Like we have so many examples of Africans doing exactly that. There's a lot of fear out here. People, oh yeah, but Black Wall Street, and they always give you one fucking example. Like we've had hundreds and thousands of these sovereign entities, but where we've always failed, and what we need to learn from is defending what we have vigorously. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is, man. To my religious folks, you know what I'm saying? It's like we love the aspect of religion that makes us feel good. But you know what every major religion has in it? Sacrifice. And that's what we're not willing to accept. That is a level of sacrifice that we all have to make to accomplish what we have to do. Every last one of them. You can't tell me one that does not have sacrifice as a major caveat to it. That's just something that we have to acknowledge and accept, that if we really want to accomplish our goals, there's major sacrifices that have to be made. You know what I mean? Instead of taking these little bullshit concessions that they're giving us just to calm us down, or a little pat on the head. You know what I mean? Like, yo, sacrifices have to be made.
It's an insult to have Amazon and Coca-Cola and Pepsi talk about we're sorry and we're going to donate all this money to the Black community and we're sorry for our part in white supremacy and global European imperialism, and we're going to change, and the NFL, having brothers and sisters sobbing and brothers crying and talking about, we just want you all to treat us better, the NBA and all these entities talking that shit. And I turn on Amazon the other day and everything, and they talk about we stand in solidarity with the Black community and everything like that. Everybody wants to take pity on the Black man. As I told you earlier before we came on the show, and I had a lot of things to say. The fact of the matter is that it's an insult. It should be an insult to every African man and woman and child to see that bullshit. Like I said earlier, the situation is that most of our people are gonna go for that. They want reform. They don't want revolution. They want reform. They want better accommodations on the existing plantation. That's what they want. They just want white people to raise their foot off our neck just a little bit, but still tell us what to do. Please, Master Charlie, please tell us what to do. Please have your white woman be our surrogate mother, and you remain our surrogate father. And we, as Americans, can all just get along. I have one more thing to say. The fact of the matter is that after it's all said and done, all they're going to do is amend, change, put some new laws into effect, and pacify Negroes in this country for the next 6 to 8 months. But I guarantee you, each and every person in this broadcast who are watching, listening, and the guests today, y'all know that 6 to 8 months from now, it's not a question of if it's going to happen again. It's a question of when it's going to happen again. And what you're going to say when it happens again. What are you going to say when it happens again?
That's right.
Yeah.
Because it's going to happen again. And you Negroes want to be pacified. and you want people to say that they're sorry and talk about, you know, the humanity of people. This beast, this cracker don't got no humanity. He don't have no empathy, no sympathy, no morality, no ethics. He has no morals. And he's not human. He doesn't understand humanity. You can't speak to a man that doesn't understand what humanity is. And he damn sure don't got no fucking soul. So it's going to happen again. For all you Negroes out here that are, you know, saying a change is coming. They're going to give you the illusion that you've won and that you've gained a victory. And they're going to snatch that shit right back, because white supremacy cannot end. It is the basis from which the world runs, and he don't want to lose his fucking power.
Yo, Oba, you know what almost brought tears in my eyes.
And if I could,
you know what almost brought tears in my eyes. I'll make this real quick, Green. I'm walking past the TV, CNN is on, and I'm hearing our people in 2020 singing "We Shall Overcome."
Someday.
Like, are we?
Sad. So sad.
Like, man, that's all I wanted to say. Oh, Church in the Field for Manhood Papers, June 19th, United Front. The Vanguard.
I think, to add on to that, this is why we got to deal with ourselves. We are going to our enemy and saying, change, please change, and we'll be good slaves for you. Look. If you just give us a little better, we can make all this stop. The problem is we got to stop looking at them for anything. If we want to separate, if we want to stay, if we want to, whatever we want to do, we got to stop giving a damn about what their opinion is on anything. We got to start small, right? Because we know what the grand goal is, but on a very mundane level, they're not out of our heads as a people. So on a mundane level, we care too much about their opinion. We'll let our neighbor know, don't you dare step over here and do that. In the project building where we own nothing, you understand? We'll let our neighbor know how big and bad we are. We won't be neighborly. We'll show how tough we are. But when we deal with them, it's like, oh, well, look, you know, so we got to learn how to deal with ourselves. When we're at home, when we're alone or with our families, you know, when we're dealing with people, when we're organizing, when we're eating together, when we have an issue with a black business and iron out that issue. I'm gonna give an example. I had an issue recently. I won't name the business or anything, but I had an issue, and it was just totally jacked up, you know. And even myself, my initial thought was, this is the problem why some of us can't get the support we want, because here I am, willing to do whatever I need to do to pay and support, and I'm not getting the same thing back. But you know what I did? I took it offline. And I had a back and forth with the brother, and I said, well, look, here's how I feel. And I said, because we all got to learn. We all got to give ourselves a chance for certain errors. You understand what I'm saying? Because we all building up something. We got to deal with ourselves. We can't worry about what he's doing, because as y'all just said, we know he's coming. We know what he's up to. We know what he's after. What else does he have to show us to surprise us with anything? The only thing he could surprise us with is if he actually acted like a human being. So we got to deal with ourselves, one-on-one, how we raising our children. And back to, this seems to be a theme a little bit here, where it's like, forget the set tripping. We gotta figure out what we agree on. I think Malcolm spoke a little bit about that. Ashe. We gotta find what we agree on and build from there, because we understand our differences. We know what's plaguing us. There's nothing new. There's just new ways of doing it. So it's simple, but it's really difficult, because their opinion of us is really, like you said, 90% of our people are not ready for it. 90% of our people are not ready to see that peace has to be earned. And you might be part of a generation that establishes the peace. And if you're going to be part of the generation that establishes the peace, that means you understand you're at war. and you understand the reasons for war and why you get out of bed to fight the war when your feet hurt or your stomach or your babies are in danger or whatever it is. And I know it's not that easy. I'm not trying to make it sound that easy. I am saying the thought process though behind it, you know, our people are not ready for that because we are concerned too much with what they think of us as opposed to what we're doing and how we think of each other. So imagine if our opinion changed, we talking to our neighbor, the same one we willing to show how tough we are with, and we say, you know what, I'm gonna be peace with this brother and this sister. Clearly they are a little more angrier than I am. I'm gonna be the one to back down. We ain't telling nobody to be a punk. We ain't telling nobody to just take disrespect from anybody. But why not first be a beacon of light to our people and say, I'm gonna show you how to be respectful. Maybe they don't know. Maybe we that far gone, because that's some of the madness I see. So let's start simple and deal with each other on those levels, and then we can really deal with separating in the big picture if we can start separating right here on the smaller levels.
That's right. It's a process. Preach, Pastor Green. That's right.
As Mama Marimba Ani said, she said that we're not at war. And I said this last week on the show. We're being warred upon.
That's right.
It's just that 90% of our people don't know that. They think that we're at war. We're not at war. We're being warred upon because we have not come up with an effective strategy through all the set tripping, through the Negro Peons, you know, the reformists, the closet integrationists. We are losing. We are being warred upon because we have not come up with an effective strategy to fight back against so-called white supremacy, which basically my brother Imhotep Fatiyu of PLM calls white. He calls it what does he call it? He calls it white terrorism. Okay, we have not come up with an effective strategy to fight against white terrorism, and until we do, we're not winning. For the masses of the people, but those of us who understand what we got to do and everything like that, and the strategies that we have to effectively implement, the few, we got to understand that, you know, that we're at war, we're in a war, and we can no longer afford to be warred upon.
That's right. That's right.
So as we move towards close, my brothers, any last remarks, anything that you want to say, and also give our listening audience and those who are viewing on YouTube your information on where they can get some of this good, this hot dopeness in the form of you know, African insurrection music by United Front. Anybody?
Oh, y'all wait for the ambassador. Now these dudes like, yeah, we gonna let you do that. All right, before I do all of that, let me just say this. As a parting comment, I just want to say to those Africans that are listening that a lot of this that you're hearing is new. This is not simply rhetoric. You know, we are people of action. I just want to say, you know, stop thinking so lowly of yourselves and so small of yourselves. You know, this is 100 years since the prominence of the UNIA. This is 100 years since the existence of the most honorable Marcus Garvey. Let's think about what he managed to do without social media. You know what I mean? And just think about what your contributions can be. We look for leaders outside of ourselves, and we are all potential Garveys. We are all potential Harriets. We are all potential Elijah Muhammads. What was the difference between them and us, except for their commitment to do, you know, what they did for us and their contributions? Like, let's make their contributions count for something. You know, instead of more bookmarks in the footnote of history to say, oh, this person did this, but we're still here. And I'll leave it at that. But besides that, I just want to say www.ufasafo.com. You know, that's where you can get all of our projects. You know, right now we're 7 projects deep. We're about to drop an 8th on June 19th. You know, just in time for Juneteenth. Cypher, help me out. Cypher. My bad, I'm still getting used
Cypher
to
in the field for
Cypher in the field for
manhood
manhood papers.
right.
Yeah.
Cypher,
Damn,
you know what I mean? So that's gonna, yeah, you know what I mean? That's gonna be the first offering, followed by the second offering in July, and then August we will smack you in the face with a full length project, Harriet Shotgun. Just get ready because that's gonna be exactly what it sounds like. Another classic from the United Front Vanguard, you know, starring myself and my brother University Avenue. It's going down. And merch is on the way for everybody that keep asking for those United Front t-shirts. And, you know, we're going to have a lot of flavors for y'all very soon. We're working on that right now. We're going to have, you know, some nice merchandise for y'all. Just stay in tune. www.ufasafo.com. Word over. You know what I mean?
And limited merch coming too. Limited merch. We got some limited merch.
Limited merch too.
Stuff that only, you know, only a few people gonna be able to get their hands on.
Limited
So stay
edition,
tuned for that.
everything.
Word up. And I just want to say, you know what I mean? I just want to give a shout to my brother Brooklyn Z, my brother Pharaoh Zamani, you know what I mean? That's my guy. You know what I mean? I just wanted to shout him out real quick. And of course, you know, Knowledge Bar and Line, y'all brothers for always just, you know, keeping the flag high.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm out on that note. Peace to all the family tuning in.
Mm-hmm. And next
Yo,
time we
word,
have
love
y'all
you,
back on
brother.
the show, Bomani, I want you to talk about Monk, the Monk clothing line. You know what I mean? Your fitness clothing line that you got out. You got hats, you got hoodies, you got everything out.
I got a whole women's line coming. So
Yeah,
like
you got a whole
just
women's
after
line
this
coming as
COVID
well.
madness,
So yeah,
start to settle down. Like it's about to get crazy for those who ready to get this workout. It's a Safo workout.
yeah. Brother Farugh, you got any thing you want to ask the brothers before we move to close, my brother?
Yeah, I just want to thank y'all for doing the things you're doing. Thank you for the example that you're set. I want to close with they say the elder once told me the best libation to do is to finish the work that was started. And so I thank you brothers for doing that.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. That means a lot.
My brothers, you know, we've known each other for the last couple of years. I want to thank and send a special shout out to my brother, Baba Khamuo Heru, and Baba Tashango and Billy Shaka. Because if it wasn't for those two brothers, you know what I mean? I would have never met you all. I would have never known you all. Oh, you were the first one I was introduced to when you came to Philly a couple of years back. And it's been beautiful ever since. You know, it was interesting because I wanted y'all at African Independence Day so bad. I kept telling my brothers, brother Farugh and brother Khamuo, yo, it's this group, man. They phenomenal. When I heard 50 Shot and I was actually introduced to y'all on United We Stand, I just knew that y'all were special. You know, I mean, I've been in hip hop for a long time, and I know, and I can hear greatness. I could just hear it. I just can hear it in the lyrics, in the production. Y'all had it all, and I think those two brothers. I think you know, Baba Sekou and Baba Tashango, man, for introducing me to you all, to introducing me to what African insurrection music is, and as we always say, a Safo gang for life.
Let me just say one last thing though, real quick, man. Real talk though. I don't ever really give my brothers, you know what I mean, respect and props, you know what I mean, as much as I should, man. But I just want to salute my brothers, my team, man, because like, yo, I got the best team I could possibly ask for, man. We about to steamroll over all these people, man. All these crackers about to get steamrolled, man. So salute to my Safo gang, my whole squad, everybody that supported United Front from United We Stand Volume 1 till now. And we got a lot more classics coming from you, man. And I really appreciate the love, seriously. And to all those who chose to show disrespect, and to quote Jay-Z, everything must be addressed though. Yeah.
Abibifahoodie, Abibitumi. On that note, brothers, we thank you all for having you on the Sonic Ngoma Knowledge Radio. So as we move towards close, we want to give our information for anyone who wants to get in touch with us, the African Independence Day Organizing Committee. You can contact us and reach out to us by going to our official webpage, which is AfrikanIndependenceDay.org. That's AfrikanIndependenceDay.org. As well as you can get in contact with us by email at AfrikanIndependenceDay@gmail.com. African is spelled AFRAKAN, IndependenceDay@gmail.com. You can also check us out on social media on Facebook at www.facebook.com/16th Annual African Independence Day Mayat Celebration 2020. And you can also check us out on Instagram at African_Independence Day. That's African_Independence Day on Instagram or IG. And you can also contact us on our business line, which is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 267-521-1544. Once again, that's 267-521-1544. So with that, we are going to move towards close. Once again, give thanks. Thanks to our brothers, our guests this week, Brother Bomani Mayasa, Brother Ambassador O Mayasa, Brother Akintunde, Yetunde, aka University Ave, Mayasa, and Brother Dito Green, Mayasa. Thank you all for being with us this week. And join us next week for another edition of the Sonic Ngoma. Our guest next week will be once again Brother Mancho and his Queen Sister Nawasha, as we will have our Black Love Talk every second Saturday in the month. So join us next week at 11 a.m. for another edition of the Sonic Ngoma. For myself, for Brother Farugh, and I don't know where our brother Khamuo went.
No, he had to leave early. He had to do that protest thing.
Okay. Love y'all, brothers. Black Power, Abibifahoodie, Abibitumi, Wakusu,
Abibifahoodie,
and Race First. Race First.
Already.
All right now. Free to land.
Go! The process, execution, get freedom and retribution. I feed them, clip the nooses, expose CNN's newsless. Choosers, he rulers, they do too much and they jewelers. This crack is the devil, Satan, and the Yama Judas. So we about to do this, we the rhythm of the movement. Got to keep the people moving in this fight, win it or lose it. People, get your black fist high. This way we unite on that front line. From NY to the Shy, we gon' throw that fist high. Unite on the west side, combine in the south live. I be aiming for your mind, you gon' bump it in your ride. My people, I really need you to get up off your behind. People, get your black fist high. This way we unite on that front line. People, get your black fist high. This way we unite on that front line. Y'all want that black Jesus walks? Hello, my listeners. That cracker in the trunk, that's what we give to our parishioners. You still a slave to your J.O.B.? You a slave, and you can't see that I'm an African. I'm a African. God is son with the rapping gift. Got Harlem on my back and lift. Rapping players can't tackle this. People, get your black fist high. This way we unite on that front line. From NY to the Shy, we gon' throw that fist high. Unite on the west side, combine in the south live. I be aiming for your mind, you gon' bump it in your ride. My people, I really need you to get up off your behind. People, get your black fist high. This way we unite on that front line. People, get your black fist high. This way we unite on that front line. Freedom fighter cipher gave you hurricane relief. Spell hurricane with 3 Ks. Always acknowledge the beast. 1-900 freedom is the number to call to learn what you do for elocution. Food for thought in this war. Protecting was kissed by the sun with my guard and my gun. Every day I'm struggling not to crash before I'm done. Let's go. People, get your black fist high. This way we unite on that front line. From NY to the Shy, we gon' throw that fist high. Unite on the west side, combine in the south live. I be aiming for your mind, you gon' bump it in your ride. My people, I really need you to get up off your behind. People, get your black fist high. This way we unite on that front line. People, get your black fist high. This way we unite on that front line. I got Harlem blazing, no east side location. Peace to brothers getting it between Malcolm and Adam Clayton. Standing between giants, do you get it? When I say it, consciousness awaken. Aim is will show the falsification. Initiative to teach our own the work we give the nation. Black power actions keep my spirit in celebration. People, get your black fist high. This way we unite on that front line. From NY to the Shy, we gon' throw that fist high. Unite on the west side, combine in the south live. I be aiming for your mind, you gon' bump it in your ride. My people, I really need you to get up off your behind. People, get your black fist high. This way we unite on that front line. People, get your black fist high. This way we unite on that front line. Have integrity but be free and say what you feel. Move the spirit into action, that's that church in the field. Congregate with the people, get the masses to build. Pray to God after prayer, we hold the church in the field. You can rest on the Sabbath, use your weekend to chill. The rest of that week is a battle, we call church in the field. Let's go. People, get your black fist high. This way we unite on that front line. From NY to the Shy, we gon' throw that fist high. Unite on the west side, combine in the south live. I be aiming for your mind, you gon' bump it in your ride. My people, I really need you to get up off your behind. People, get your black fist high. This way we unite on that front line. People, get your black fist high. This way we unite on that front line.
Black, all in dedicated recordings. Rappers you stick a fork in, happens from me talking. Hype when we talk it, imagine if we could walk it. Standing side by side with them sisters, Harlem, New York this. Here's my offense, my spirit in core sense. We in a war, I'm just giving you more trench. Watching the law tense, recording won't throw a death. They kill you on video and get off like raw sex. Guess where you took it, they giving it to you crooked. A beating at the bookings, Cali, Texas or Brooklyn. No matter the gang took it, assault you for how you looking. Beef with us is always cooking, first they freeze it and they hook it. Gifted, young and black, yo, the sun is back. Even our elders fit that description. I be one, in fact. When I wrote this, never felt hopeless, but I be knowing can't give in to this crone. Got too much joke to live. Is this the end? Nah, it's my new edition, true rendition of my goals and missions. I be spitting, quitting time. Maybe for you, I got things to do like Slater Jew and feeding you. I got bars like vegan finger food. African spear, I'm spiritual. 357 miracle. Want you to hear it when it's hitting you. Passed on Sunday, gunplay on Monday. The fight for freedom's forever, we seeing it someday. I ain't perfect, relationship lost cause of my worship. Thought I have it forever, some feelings feel deserving. The lessons of my faith, had to learn it, let them escape, breathe it back in. Now wait a second, need to take a second. Man, I hate this lesson, but I got a deal to see progression. Can't be possessive, I'm letting go, no more pretending. I got a core to strengthen, build with brethren. Speak my skill and my breath and you can't touch it or contest it. When I'm resting, burn the body, let the fire bless it. Mix the ashes with gunpowder and forge a weapon. Don't kill black with it, I'm coming back with it. Blasting at that fitted, I'm killing the cracker minions. Gotta watch the Russell Wilsons, he Christian, I'm sacrilegious. You get it, maybe you didn't, I'm just showing off and spitting. Interesting, quitting Ikea, Mayasa, Dido, they distant. Bring them together, that's hard, I'm feeling different. But it's the true me, I ain't spooky. I have mastered this fire, your skills Garzuki. You can't sharp shoot me, I don't do booth beef. It only takes one loose leaf to show you my true beast. Gotta go green, I'ma save you from 2 sheets. This will remove teeth, even on smooth beats. Sisters give birth to gems, crackers is jewel thieves. With the mics and rhymes in the sauce, I smothered a 2-piece. And now I'm flowing, Dido dreams, I'm Leroy Green. Show enough, I'm glowing. The wretched of the earth lock up my solar dad brothers. Destruction of black civilization can't protect our mothers. They came before Columbus, still the Iceman cometh. With the protocols of Zion, behold a pale horse running his mouth. Shout out to the racists of the South. He don't bite his tongue, he play the wolf, that's what he bout. It's easier to kill him cause his ego points him out. He don't like to hide, he tell T.I. to bring him out. Now this northerner delivers award-winning performance. Have you feeling like you sovereign till he's busting all your doors in? Armed with guns and false warrants, my talk warrants me to train in a dark forest, hunting Chuck Norris. Priceless skill, I would never bargain. Locked up for flow, I would never pardon. I ain't the nicest, I just flow the smartest. United front the Vanguard, a SIFO department. I think I got a problem, I gotta think problem. 70 bars in 3 minutes, I'm a drink problem. My AA meeting stand for Africans, a lot of them. Devil bring the heat, but Dido hotter than the pot of them. I lava them, volcanic sound, burn, decay, I'm rotting them. Devils and coons recited, yo, I'm not with them. Here we go, ain't nobody stopping him. Dido Green rocking them, dropping them, I'm hotter than 3-minute warning. Church in the field, a pastor.